So when do you make a move? How do you make it? Do you make it on the first date? Do you make it, at the end of the night, the beginning of the night? What is this ladder of escalation that you should be following? That's what we're going to discuss in this video. Hey guys, Bobby Rio here with Rob Judge, and today we want to talk about what we call the ladder of escalation. And I think most guys are woefully unaware of how this works.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that every guy knows he has to make a move at some point, but most guys don't know the best progression and the way to really make a move that not only is going to ensure that it's a good experience for you and the woman and that things go well, but just to also ensure that things keep moving forward. Because obviously if you startle a woman, you creep her out, she feels weird, even if she maybe kisses you or reciprocates whatever move you make, it's not gonna, like the foreseeable future is not gonna be good for you. So you want to make sure that when you progress to making a move, say you're going for a kiss, even the first time you touch a woman, like when I say sexually, I mean like,
intimately.
Intimately, that's a better word for it. Sexually is like, yeah, it sounds creepy. But the idea that you want to make sure that you take active steps before you do that. And these are small things that sort of gradually turn, we use an analogy a lot, like turning the volume knob up. You would never just go up to a stereo and just yank up the volume if you're at a party or something, because you would startle people and it would be weird. You would gradually turn that volume knob up to just let people adjust to the increase in volume, increase in intimacy, sexual tension, and intimacy.
So I want to rewind it real quick because Rob said something that's super important. He said, we all know we have to make a move. But here's what I think most people don't understand is you have to make the move fast. The move has to happen the first time you're one-on-one with a woman, right? Meaning like if you meet a girl on Tinder, if you meet a girl, if you work with a woman and you ask her out on a date, right? You're working with her and you say, hey, you want to go for drinks tonight? And then you go for drinks and you don't take it, you don't escalate in some way, you are going to wind up in the friend zone. It's just the way it is. Like most guys think you have a lot of time. In this day and age, you don't have a lot of time, right? Like girls have so many other options. They're going on so many dates that if you go out with her and you don't make a move, she compartmentalizes you as friend zone guy, nice guy, the guy she works with.
No chemistry,
there's no chemistry. You've got to make a move right away. And you also want to, as Rob said, you want to know how to do it the right way, because you also don't want to be sitting next to some girl you work with talking business all day, and then all of a sudden you put your hand on her leg and she's like looking at you like, what the fuck? Like you're getting like a sexual harassment thing in front of the
you're hanging out with Harvey Weinstein, it's bad news bears.
So you want to follow sort of this escalation ladder. So let's talk about the first step, Rob. Let's talk about the idea. Let's assume you're out. Doesn't matter where you met her, work, Tinder, whatever. You're out. What's the first little ladder of escalation you want to start taking her up?
And I mean, again, this is personal preference, but for me, one thing that I like to do before I ever even touch a woman intimately is I like to just get her comfortable with me being in her personal space. This is something that it's a barrier a lot of guys don't think about, but when you first meet a woman, and if you're up in her personal space, unless there's an immediate, instant attraction, a lot of the times that a woman's not necessarily ready for you to be that close to her. So a very easy way to do this, and I actually picked this up because I've had a couple girls do it to me, is you just lean into her and be like, oh my God, I really like your perfume. Like, oh, you smell amazing. Something that simple. And I'm sure every guy has had a girl say that to him where they walk by or they're on a date and the girl leans in a little bit. She smells it. Oh wow, I really like your cologne. You should take that move, because I feel like women pioneered it. We're gonna steal it. Yeah. And just lean in and say, oh wow, I really like your perfume. And then, because what's nice about that you're giving her a compliment. And you're getting in a personal space just for like a second, and then you're using a false time constraint, and then you're pulling back. So you're not being creepy guy like, I like your perfume, and then you're just like staying here. It's like you're in and out. So she feels you in a personal space, but then you give her time to acclimate to it.
Yeah, one of the things you want to keep in mind, right, is with this ladder of escalation, right? Okay, and Rob actually brought up a good point, because like a lot of guys, they don't realize that at some point you actually have to say, okay, we've been having this fun conversation. I got to take it to that next level. And doing something as simple as leaning in, smelling her perfume, that's taking it to that level. But as he said, the false time constraint element of it, and the reason we laugh is because we have a whole video on this technique of false time constraints, is the reason that you want to do it is you want to get her comfortable, right? Like if you lean in, you smell her, and then next thing you know, you're like touching her hair. It's like, whoa. But if you lean in, smell her, then you pull away, you let her get comfortable with it, and you showed her you're not this creepy guy who's going to be like sticking her hand down her pants, you know? Yeah. And that's really the way you want to look at this, right? The ladder is always going to be like, you take a step up, you take 2 steps up, and then you kind of take a step back down, right? Then another 2 steps up, then a step back down, then another 2 steps. You're always just getting her more and more comfortable. And you know, and we can, like, when we don't have time in this video, there's literally like an entire progress. And I know Rob, you know, both of ours are different, and we both teach our clients, you know, our own unique method of doing it. But that's really the ladder of escalation. But there's something that I think another element that most guys don't talk to, along with the sort of kinetic, you know, feeling and closeness that you're getting with her. Even in the conversation, at some point, you want to start introducing certain type of words.
Yeah, that and again, this is very similar to introducing that element of touch, or introducing that you know, the closeness into the relationship. Is also, at some point, you also need to start having a more sexually charged conversation. You know, you're not just going to be talking about pleasantries or you know, kind of superficial rapport topics. You want to sort of pierce that facade that you know, most women have, and you want to get her comfortable talking to you in a more and more sexually explicit way, because you know, that's just the way people nowadays are talking to one another. It's not weird to be you know, for women to talk about sexual things with a guy that she's dating, with a guy that she's attracted to, but she's not just going to walk up to some guy at the bar that she doesn't know and start talking about, you know, her innermost sexual fantasies. So just like you approach the physical touch of you know, getting a woman comfortable with your physical touch, you also want to get her comfortable, and you want to slowly progress her up to talking about more and more sexually charged, sexual topics in the conversation.
Yeah, there's certain words, right? There's certain words. If you're talking to a woman and all of a sudden she says the word panties, right? That's a very overt, like, you know, it's an overt word, right? That's not an innocent word, but she says, like, oh yeah, I was like buying a pair of panties. Like she's saying it in an innocent way, like I was at the store buying a pair of panties. There's actual tension now comes into that conversation. There's other words too, like hot tub, right? If somebody, I was in a hot tub, all of a sudden that's a sexually charged word. And then there's sexually charged phrases where you put 2 of these things together. I was in a hotel in a hot tub. That's even more sexually charged than just the word hot tub or just the word hotel. And the more of these you do, it's similar to what he's saying is you're building, again, a ladder of escalation. You're starting small by bringing up a word. Then you're testing it out. You're going back. Then you're throwing more out there. And you're always going up this ladder. Now, a lot of guys said, well, what kind of words do this? So what we did was we compiled a report called the Sexual Trigger Words. We found that there's really 66 words, right? There may be more, right? There may be... You may be able to answer this, right?
These are 66 from our playbook.
These are 66 that we're conscious of, that we always try to slip into conversations because they're subtle, right? Like, we gave you more overt ones. Hot tub and panties, like on a scale of 1 to 8, those might be 6. But there's ones that you start with that are 2 or 3 that, even though they're innocent, they get her thinking sexual thoughts. Like, on a subconscious level, it just brings a little bit of that electricity into the conversation. And you just keep dropping those, and then the sexual tension's being built, and then at the same time you're doing that, you're also escalating physically, and that's how you see a guy, and you may see some guy, and you're like, how did he bring that girl home that first night? He's not even good looking, she's super hot, she was all over him. It's because he was combining these 2 things, and when you combine these 2 things, her primal instinct takes over. It doesn't matter if you're fat, bald, old. She's gonna follow through.
And then it just happened.
It just happened.
Yeah, the old "it just happened" syndrome.
There was something about him. That's exactly. There was something about him.
This is how it happens.